Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today, I wanted to film a quick video highlighting the differences between the new Omega Seamaster Diver chronograph and the Planet Ocean chronograph. Now, first, I'd like to remind you that we're here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where both of these watches are available brand new. The Omega Seamaster Diver chronograph is available at a retail price of $7,450, and the Planet Ocean chronograph is available at a retail price of $8,450. Now, the reason I wanted to film this video is that, to me, when the new Seamaster Diver chronograph came out, it was a little bit confusing why they kept the Planet Ocean still kind of in production, and I just wanted to highlight the differences between these watches. So first, I'm actually going to start off with the similarities. So obviously, both of these watches have a very similar dial configuration. That's because both of them have the Omega Caliber 900 or 9900. And that caliber is a fantastic caliber. It's a column wheel chronograph. It has a 60-hour power reserve. There's no complaints there. The finishing is fantastic. Both of these watches have a clear case back, and you can see the beautiful kind of sunburst finishing. Hang on, I'm going to focus the camera. So as you can see, it is this nice kind of sunburst finishing. And I really like that movement. I like the fact that it's a column wheel chronograph. And again, that power reserve of 60 hours is great. It's above my kind of 48-hour limit that I like to see in a watch. Not limit, I should say, kind of minimum bound. But overall, the watches are identical mechanically speaking. And the differences kind of rise when we kind of move into the cases. So as you can see, the overall appearance of the watch is actually quite different from each other. So you can see the bezel design is different. You have this beautiful orange element on the bezel for the Planet Ocean, and then on the Diver, you kind of have just a classic dial, or a classic bezel. Moving into the case kind of specifications, the Diver chronograph has a 44 millimeter case, whereas the Planet Ocean has a 45.5 millimeter case in diameter. The Planet Ocean has a water resistance that's actually double that of the Diver, so the Planet Ocean has a water resistance of 600 meters, whereas the Diver chronograph has a water resistance of 300 meters. So that's partly justifies the more expensive price by $1,000 of the Planet Ocean. And the Planet Ocean overall, just kind of glancing at the watch from all angles, you can see it's just a lot more beefed up than the Diver chronograph. And it's, in my opinion, it's a little bit excessive, but if you like a heavy watch, the Planet Ocean is definitely the one it's definitely the one you're going to want to go with between these two, because not only is it thicker, it's the bracelet is a lot heavier. The clasp, from what I can tell, is exactly the same between these two watches, but the bracelet is definitely heavier and thicker on the Planet Ocean. Also, it has a slightly different design than the Seamaster. So if you don't like, or than the Seamaster Diver. So if you don't like the Diver's kind of very classic, like, bracelet, I think that the Planet Ocean might be the one for you. And I'll try these watches on the wrist. Just personally, I prefer the Diver, not only because of the lower price, the design just speaks a little bit more to me. It's a little bit more classic. I also love the ceramic buttons that they put on the watch. So moving on to a wrist shot here. And I'm also biased towards this watch just because I have the original version of this from like the 90s, which was a far cry from this. It has an ETA-based movement. This is in-house. It's beautiful. So this is definitely an upgrade from what I have. But again, the design kind of shares a lot of similar elements, so I'm a little bit biased in that regard. So as you can see, this is a big watch. I have about a 6.5-inch wrist in circumference, just for comparison purposes. And you can see it's almost too big for my wrist. But if we move on to the Planet Ocean, now I don't know what it is about this watch, but it wears about the same as the Seamaster Diver as far as like the diameter goes, but it definitely is a lot thicker. It would be challenging to get this under a dress shirt cuff. But overall, I mean, it's not too overly huge. It's not like a Ploprof, but it's pretty big for my tastes. As you can see, it's very thick. The Diver chronograph is by no means a thin watch at all. It's not like a Daytona or something like that. At least it doesn't feel like it. But it's a little bit more wearable, and you could likely get it under a dress shirt cuff. Whereas with the Planet Ocean, I think that would be a big challenge. So if you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and share. I hope that it kind of highlighted the differences between these watches and kind of the difference in price. So definitely check out the link in the description to JB Hudson's website if you want to inquire about purchasing either of these fantastic watches. Thanks for watching, and again, remember to like, subscribe, and share.